if you had to like produce a piece of art for 10 hours, but it's something you were working out of your own head that you really wanted to do, would you be as tired as if you had to? If I commissioned you to do something that you didn't particularly want to do?
No.
You would.
No way.
No, but what I'm saying is not. It's not to say that it's not hard though. You can still. It's still hard.
That's what he's saying. He's trying to say that the thing is still hard that he's doing.
Why it's not though? If you want to do it,
I wouldn't say it's hard though.
If you're challenging yourself, it should be kind of hard in a way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Kyle, please come closer, bro.
Kyle, man, you just gotta move your chair, bro.
That's all you had to do. There's a big section right here.
Say it was comfortable, man.
To be fair, there was other people sitting there. So.
Yeah, but not anymore.
Yeah, so for example, if you've got a skilled job, that has an objective difficulty, so people go, this is difficult to do, but then someone who's sick at it is often the person who enjoys it. So everyone else looks at that person and goes, how do you do that so well? You go, it's easy for me. Because I enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
So someone's like, but you have to do this, you have to do that. And it's like, yeah, I love that. Like, so for me, it's easy. You know, it's like, how are you so consistent with it? Because I like doing it. The stuff that you don't enjoy doing, I enjoy doing it. So it makes it easy for me.
Yeah, you've made it easy yourself.
I get what you mean though. Like, there might be parts of what you're doing
That's what I'm saying.
that you don't expect.
But that's part of the process.
So for example,
you still enjoy it overall.
Yeah.
As much as you enjoy producing music, when stuff actually goes wrong with your equipment, and foolishness happens that's not supposed to happen, that has nothing to do with your actual creative process, that will be irritating. And be like, that's hard work. Why have I had to go this long to get these speakers when this one broke?
No, I'm just thinking.
I get what you're
actual
saying.
producing part.
If I was playing basketball for like 2-3 hours, I get what you're saying. I'd be tired at the end of it. But if someone told me to run suicides up and down the court,
that'd be hard work.
I'll give up after 30 minutes.
Yeah,
I won't even after
no,
30
I'm
minutes.
just seeing it from. I'm seeing it from a perspective like.
But all day I'll run up and down that court.
I'm seeing it from a perspective like if I got writer's block, and I was just like, I don't know how to move forward to my next bit. And it's a challenging process to get to the next bit. So it's hard work.
But that's part of the process.
It's not about not being motivated because it's a whole concept. You want to work with different ideas and you want to work in the right places. So you have to work.
But that's part of it though.
Huh?
That's part of the process.
Yes, but what I'm saying is those are the parts where it's like it's blocking me from getting to my destination. So this is the difficult part. And then you get over that, and then once you get out of that, you're glad you did it. Like you feel kind of relieved.
I just think that depends on the person.
That's what I'm
so
saying.
For example, if you're writing,
I wouldn't say it's difficult.
if you're writing and you get writer's block, what's your objective? If you're writing a story that you don't even know the ending to, then that's part.
That means you're not
It's part of the journey. It's like, okay, I was trying to work.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what to do next, but. This is your story. But if someone's made you write a story and said the actual authors are like,
then that's when it becomes a problem. That's when it becomes a problem. Yeah.
It's not that easy to explain.
That's when it becomes a problem.
No, it's just not that easy. I don't think you understand it. That's the thing.
I feel like you don't understand.
I think you guys are talking like alongside each other. Like I think what you're saying is like, I get what you're saying. It's just I think it's to do with the skill itself, but I think what you're talking about is still subjective. Like the difficulty level for anything is just subjective. But like for instance, like if you were like I don't know, like an astrophysicist or something, and for instance, like that to you could enjoy doing. And the same way you were saying that, like, oh, you might want to do that for 18 hours or play basketball. Would you rather play basketball for 3 hours or write equations for 25 hours? Some people would rather write 25 equations. Do you know what I mean? So it is still always subjective. Do you know what I mean?
I hear what you're saying.
But I guess it doesn't make the actual task of doing anything any easier.
Yeah, that's what it is. Because it's like
still doing the same amount of work.
Like
you still do, you still have to have that certain level of skill.
It's just
to,
that
like,
you've made it easy because
but you've just enjoyed it, so it doesn't feel like work.
Okay, let's start the podcast. And I'm gonna say again, welcome back to Chatting Thoughts.
Hey!
Yeah, it's a takeover ep because you're probably hearing a lot of voices. Your usual suspect.
What voices?
Shut up.
See?
Andrew. You're hearing Andrew. You got Dane, you got Ashy, you got Casey from the last episode. And then you got a few guests from the previous takeover eps, Mark and Kyle. Not the Kyle that you think. Not the Kyle that you think.
KLD.
No one remembers Kyle anyway.
Follow my social media.
Oh, okay.
Follow my Twitter.
Okay.
Follow
Catch you on Instagram.
Instagram #.
And we got Coffee, who's
Cash
actually
Money FC.
he's actually awake.
He's actually alive this time.
Normally slump.
That's what he's
I
involved.
usually pass out by this time, but
Master
And
Marcus.
there won't be any
He's
difference
allowed.
today, really.
Monster energy drinks. What's that?
Yeah.
Wait, Master Marcus.
Check out the gym content.
The gym content.
Yeah.
Master
Oh,
Marcus.
we
Is
can
that
plug
for
at the
fitness?
end, but we can plug at the end. We can plug at the end.
No, we do it at the beginning, man. We don't know who's gonna make it to the end.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. That is true.
Better keep them entertained. Okay, recently
Alright,
in the
go.
news, you don't even have to be a football person for this thing, so you guys can jump in here.
Yeah.
But Raheem Sterling, are you aware of it?
Is Mark right?
No, I don't know.
He's dying out.
Mark.
That's not me, bro. I'm still alive.
Keep going. Yeah, keep going.
Raheem Sterling,
Yeah.
footballer for Man City, has recently faced racial abuse.
Oh, snap.
Threw a banana out on the pitch.
No, that wasn't him.
That was
That was Aubameyang.
That was another.
That was Aubameyang.
Where's
that
Kyle?
got it.
We need Kyle as well.
But Kyle's Kyle, innit?
Yeah, so Raheem Sterling recently received racial abuse against in the Chelsea game, where what do they call him? Black C word.
Black Sun? I don't know.
The
Yeah.
Black C word, essentially. Like a few fans that were yelling it right by the pitch side, like Black C word.
What, fans of the team?
Chelsea fans. Were
Opposite
saying
fans.
it. Yeah, he
Opposite
played
team.
for the opposite team, and they were saying racial abuse.
Though that does happen.
Yeah.
What,
That
so
happened.
even if they're
It's their
on.
own, yeah.
Right, man.
That's what. And the thing is, my question is just
He's dying.
But go.
no. It was more about the racism in
Sports.
sport media. And
Yeah,
general,
that's nothing.
And
It's
the
like-
betrayal when he put on Instagram.
When what did he?
But it's been happening for years, so this is nothing new.
What did he put on Instagram?
No, that's the thing. He put on Instagram about how they portrayed black players in consideration to white players, like in the media. So he bought a house for his mum, and they were like flashy Sterling buy the £2 million house after the World Cup, after England lose the World Cup. Like they kind of just made him seem like, what are you doing?
Don't get
Why
paid for
flash
the
it?
World Cup.
Huh?
You don't get paid if.
No, but he just after they had a bad World Cup, then he
Yeah,
comes
but
and
it
buy
don't
the
matter,
flashy
you don't
house.
get paid for it.
That's how the article portrayed him.
What difference does it make?
But
You
the
already
media's
made his
always
money. You
been
don't get
known
paid
to
for playing in the World
young
Cup.
black players.
Like,
If you look at
he already got his money. Like,
if you look at Balotelli, the way he's treated, he's always in the media.
Pogba.
If you look at Sterling,
Sterling.
about the gun,
the
tie
AK,
and
yeah,
all that.
the AK.
Yeah, again,
If you
Sterling
look
again.
at Sterling as well, they've always been attacked. They use them as a scapegoat in the media.
Yeah, but my question is, why and when does it end? Because then why when they say they're like if players abusing them, saying black C word, all
Yeah.
this and that, and then they're like, oh, why is racism going on in football? We need to kick it out when it's actually starting in the media. So who's meant to stop it?
Well, I think what they're doing awareness, right? So you raise awareness. But a lot of these things, like racism, it's blatant. It's been there. It's never stopped. It's just one day they told a bunch of people you can't be racist anymore. Shut up. So obviously they're still racist and they still go to football games. So when there's 100 man or 100,000 man and you shout something and you think no one's gonna know, they're gonna say what they want in it. That's all it is.
But did you see as well in the clip there was a black man standing in between them?
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
shut my ass up too.
He was standing-
What can he
No,
say?
no,
Guys
but I'm
next
saying-
to me shouting the racist stuff. You want me to say something?
No, it's not even that. I'm saying it's like they have a black man standing right next to them,
Yes, they don't
and they're
care.
abusing a black
They
man
clearly don't
in
care.
front of them on the
No,
pitch.
which means you're clearly.
But he supports Chelsea.
You're alright. You're alright.
So
mate. Everybody tells you
yeah,
that.
no,
Nah,
it's
but
true, you know,
not
it's
you,
true,
mate.
it's
You're
true.
alright.
Yeah,
it's true. The same people that say that. It's true.
you're right.
Not all of them. Just them.
Yeah, and
Not you.
And I'm just confused with the ignorance of racism.
Chelsea's known to be
ignorant
racist.
concept.
No, but this is what
That too. Yeah.
no, this is what confuses me. It's the fact is you're abusing this man on the opposite team. You have players like William, Rudiger. These are very black people,
Probably abuse them too.
but they don't know. But they're on
probably.
the
They
team.
probably do.
They'll score a goal and you'll be skinning your teeth.
Yeah, because it pays for his
I'm
team.
serious.
Oh yeah, well done, monkey.
So then where does
That is it's standard.
no? Then where does your racism make?
Oh,
It
you
doesn't
black
make
bastards,
sense.
don't
It doesn't make sense.
No, but racism, that's the point. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Sounds like selective.
They're trying to make logic out of racism.
No point. It's just selective. It's just deciding that because
If they do something that benefits you, aka your team, they will love you.
You're an exception.
If he moved to another team now, he goes back to calling him whatever. Well, he thought of that. Yeah, he thought of that anyway.
So then, how shallow is racism then?
That's
What's the
racism,
point?
isn't it? It's racism.
Classy racism. I don't like this kid.
It's obviously ignorant.
Is it just bred from ignorance? Is it just ignorance?
Literally what racism is.
That's
Ignorance of
that's
another
ignorance.
person's race and culture. That's literally what it is.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Unless they benefit you, then you're your best friend.
And then you're alright, mate.
You should remember.
Yeah, you're right, mate. Oh, you're right. You're not too bad, are you?
There's a guy throwing a banana at you.
You guys don't say bad.
You know. It's just,
Yeah,
it's
like-
just blatant ignorance.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the better thing that you said though is about the media's role in it.
Yeah.
That's what
the
disturbs
media's
me.
role in it, and then you can take that beyond football.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's publications, the Daily Mail is renowned for how they portray immigrants and just general people of the other.
Definitely. Like, what's
And-
his name? What's the artist? His name's James Arthur or something like that.
Yeah. The singer.
Yeah, some singer. Very urban, mixed with a lot of black people, whatever, makes very urban, or used to make very urban music. He made one homophobic comment, or like a rap or something, where he said a homophobic thing, and he got crucified immediately. Because their stars, they hold to such an account that you're role models, you can't say this, you can't do this, we will destroy you if you do this because you're misleading our youth.
But is that not...
Random mad black people they let run around and what they let them say, and they don't care. They're like, yeah, you can do that to your young. We don't care. You can tell your young anything, but the second that you are
I don't know.
from that side of things, they hold them like, no, you can't do that.
No, I know. I think because there's like a red flag with certain topics, and like homophobic stuff is one of those ones. Like homophobic things, feminist things, like sexism. Those are red flag
What
topics
about
right
Robin
now.
Thicke?
What did you do?
What about Robin Thicke?
What did you do
What did
recently?
you do?
No, what was his thing? That video he
Blurred
came out with?
Lines.
Blurred Lines.
That was
That song.
What happened with
What was
that?
that? It's just like a
Yeah,
sample,
Stone
no?
Marvin
Marvin
Gaye, yeah,
Gaye.
it just
Yeah.
really did
Yeah.
cool, innit?
Marvin Gaye's song.
But wasn't it something to do with wasn't it something to do with like the actual video?
The
Like,
content.
women and, like,
No, I think it was the lyrical content. No?
Was
Yeah,
it?
yeah, it was
Just
like-
like I know
never
you
heard that
want
I
it.
don't know what the actual.
Right, the women
Oh,
are like,
Yeah, yeah, they were
I think
half
it was
naked.
The lyrical content as
Yeah.
whilst these like young women were half naked.
Yeah.
It's like, I
And-
know you want it.
Yeah.
It's the same way
Yeah.
that Christmas song that's like
Oh, yeah.
isn't it
That-
cold
that cold
outside?
Ah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, is that new?
Nice old song,
He's
not
trying to
old
eat
song.
that,
They're
it's
trying
old.
they're trying to like take it away.
He's trying to-
Yeah, I heard
He's trying
some. They're
to
trying to
leave.
shut down some
He's trying
kind
to
of.
get her to stay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's messed up.
Wait, is that the lyrics?
Yeah, but
Some bars in it.
Damn.
she says I gotta go home. He says
Yeah.
it's cold outside.
There you go. Nowhere. Allow it. That's rape,
No,
bro.
it's a very long ride.
Yeah, but that song's coming from a different era, no. So it's kind of like
Coffee in your drink.
Yeah, but they'll still try and...
Yeah, no,
that's not one of the lyrics.
No, there's a
that's
drink
not
bar.
one
No,
of
but
the
there's a drink bar. There's a drink bar.
Yeah, yeah, there's
Apparently
like
there's a
having
drink
another
bar in
drink
there
or
that's like,
something.
whoa.
What is he, Bill Cosby or something? What is that
I don't know.
behavior, man?
Yeah,
That
it's
was-
like no, it's like just have a drink, and she's like, no, I don't want to. And
Yeah.
she's like,
Oh, allow it.
come on, just stay.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can't do that in this area, bro. You can't say that in this area.
Friendly today and shit
Yeah,
like that. It's
yeah.
proper
You
rude.
shouldn't have even.
Wow.
Outside.
It's like, when you listen to it now that we've said it, you'll be
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you'll
yeah.
repeat still. Yeah,
It's mad.
I'm just hearing the content of like, oh, I'm gonna leave now. It's kind of cold outside.
Isn't it?
Outside.
Like,
Just stay. Just have a seat.
it's kind of cold.
Yeah.
Have a seat. It's fine.
When you make it a scenario, it's kind of scary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's kind of cold outside.
All depends on the weather.
That's messed up. Look that real quick. He'd be like, come get it.
It's cold outside.
Allow it, bro.
I said it'll be a very long ride.
Yeah, the thing is, yeah, what I was saying,
Oh, what? No, Molly all in her champagne.
Oh yeah, Rick Ross song, innit?
She
What?
don't even know. She don't even know it.
Ah,
he
come
said
on,
Molly
bro.
all in her
That
champagne.
UNEL song.
She don't even know it.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Enjoyed that.
I
She
don't
don't
even
even
know
know
it.
it.
Oh, shit, man, it's
She didn't even know it.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, do you not remember that
I was
part?
in the club like, she didn't know.
Predator, bro.
That's bad.
What's that?
Yeah, that's what mad.
I didn't even clock that one. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Them kind of bars, people have dropped them kind of bars in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I was saying though, if we go back to the media, do you think they're okay? Do you know when we talk about ignorance? Then you know when we're saying that racism it's bred from ignorance.
Yeah.
Can we say? Are we saying that the media is are they responsible for this continuing? Then is it them?
Yeah, because
Are they
need it,
responsible?
because at the same time, remember, the media needs hits. The media right now, everything is attention. So, good or bad, they're going to use whatever it takes to get that attention. So, even if it is slightly racist, they'll probably amplify the racism within the subject anyway.
No, but are they the ones breeding racism?
Yeah, to
What
be
I'm
honest-
saying, how they write articles, swaying certain people and
I
that.
think they're making people. I think they're starting to make us like numb to it, or like almost. Do you know what I mean?
Or make
Like,
some
they're like, they start to normalize it.
Wait,
Normalize it.
one
I
at a
think
time,
it'll
one
get-
at a time.
I think it'll just it'll start to like be normalized. The
Yeah.
more we see it in the media, constantly, it's like
I
oh, it's
personally
another
feel-
person.
Coffee, what are you saying?
And then it'll become a common thought.
Wait,
You know what I mean?
yeah. What are you saying?
I personally feel like the media is basically representing what's happening out there. People are actually being racist out there, and they have the means to report it. They are just doing their job. I personally feel racism has been ongoing for a long time. We all know that. We all experienced it. In shops, you go to the store, security looking at you. You come out the station, police asking you questions for no reason.
Okay,
it's all happening.
And this is why I think
This is
why I think it stems from media.
true.
It's based on what we consume on a daily basis is nothing through media and what we see in so like TV, news, whatever. And they're the ones feeding it to us, and they feed it to us in a certain way to push their agenda.
They make
So we
trends
learn.
out of it. I
So-
personally feel they make trends out of it, whereas people at work are experiencing racism. People on the trains are experiencing racism.
No.
Racism is a general thing.
But this is why I want to bring
But
you
these
back
are
to
trends
no.
of
This is why I want to bring you.
racism that are being promoted by the media.
But this is why I want to bring you back to
They
like, the
are-
Sterling
yeah.
issue, because Sterling, like, they keep saying like gun tattoo, making him seem like he's some kind of thug or whatever, and then about buying a house and the way they said flashy this and flashy that. But then there was a recent youngster that bought like a white youngster for Man City that bought a house, and they were like, oh, Man City youngster buys home for his mum.
Yeah, I
Just
remember that.
they
I
just
remember
they
that.
just make it sound like a homecoming, and then there was another
Yeah.
black player that did it, and they kind of framed it like a young player. He's like, he hasn't even played for the first team, and he's buying a £2 million house.
To be
Like
Like it's
the-
irresponsible or
Yeah,
something.
they're like the way they phrase it. It's just like they just planting that in your head, the
To be
agenda.
honest, I think a lot of the time when you hear those sort of headlines, it's just throwing it in. If the person was being racist against a black person, I think a lot of the time it can frustrate us and distract us from what's going on around us. So, in the sense that when they put the headline out there, it makes us angry. You know what I mean? And it just starts a lot of commotion
Yeah.
and
And it
separates
feeds back
people.
to them.
Yeah.
Like it's
Creates segregation.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah,
feel. You have to
I
think as well.
confrontation. You know what I mean? It creates problems, and that's you know what, if there's problems, it means that we don't focus on real world issues.
Yeah,
That's the
and
also.
also
We're focusing on fighting each other, and we're focusing on fighting Sterling and how bad he is as a person. Where really we should be focusing on
The
what our
bigger picture.
schools are like and what our hospitals are like, and do you know what I mean? And or further into the world, whatever, all of that kind of shit. But we're not. We're focusing on.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's how they phrase it. But,
Yeah.
but it's how it, and then,
Yeah,
but then
it's-
that's why I'm saying racism is bred from that, because even situations where I'm sure, have you seen these videos like going around where like a mum has filmed her kid saying something racist?
Yeah.
Like she said, like he's like, oh, he was like she's a gorilla on a box or something.
Yeah.
Have you seen that one? Where there's a black woman with like, I think she's picking like rice grains or something, and then she's like, oh, who's that on the box? And then the kid's like, it's a gorilla. And she keeps filming her saying it's a
Talking about the
gorilla.
little baby, the girl, the
But
blonde
yeah,
girl
yeah,
one.
That's
Yeah,
the thing.
I saw that.
Somebody
Racism,
she's
racism
black.
is
Yeah,
learned.
yeah.
But
That's what
where is that? But where is that?
Racism is learned, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
but-
I saw one the other day, and this
Yeah,
little
I think
girl
it's- yeah,
explained
yeah.
it like that.
Some kind of joke.
Someone broke into the house.
Yeah,
Someone broke into the house.
and stole something. And the mum
Stole-
said, you know,
stole her
she-
sweets, stole her
But
sweets.
she's eating the sweets, and then
That's
right
all.
at the end, yeah,
I said, who
she's like,
stole it?
Who stole it? And it was a black man.
Yeah, and then she
And she
laughed.
laughed.
Learned.
She
and then the
laughed.
mum laughed. But where did the little child learn?
That's
that
what I'm
from?
saying, isn't
That's
it?
the thing.
It's learned. I think it's learned from home, and what you see, and the thing is that also is influenced from what we see in the media, because then,
Yeah, but the media are pushing it
Yeah.
because they got agendas.
That's what I was saying.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So is that not where it's all stemming from?
Media.
That's what I'm saying. It's not that where it's all stemming from.
I don't think it stems from the media, but I think it suits.
In regards to
I
the
see
media,
what you
They
mean.
definitely add fuel to the fire.
Yeah,
For
because-
certain stories.
I don't think they could created it and are pushing it like, but it's.
As soon as they see like a
agenda.
glimpse, boom,
Yeah.
they're gonna
Yeah,
signal out
personally,
and
I feel
magnify it.
And
in
then-
regards to the media, I'll think myself, why are they doing it? You know, people are reading it. They're getting the ratings.
That's what I'm
They're
saying.
getting
It's
the
really
visits.
feedback. At the end
People
of
are
the day,
interested in that.
feedback.
Why are people
Feedback to them.
interested in that? Again, because racism is general. It's just there. Silent racism,
No, but
selective
I feel
racism,
people-
all these terms. It's just general.
But I
You know?
feel like people they'll get the hits anyway because there's only 3 radios with 3 news outlets really.
And they're all
Like,
controlled by the
Yeah,
same
the
person.
same person.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Very true,
But
actually.
then, to be honest, yeah. So, for example, like the amount of people that actually watch football compared to the amount of people that know about what happened to Sterling, this guy, is it's mad. Like there are people who know nothing about football. Most people know what happened to Sterling, even though they know because it went on the, whatever that show is with Piers Morgan on it in the morning.
Good morning,
Yeah.
Britain.
Good Morning Britain. So it becomes bigger than that, if you get what I mean. So it's not just like it's the fact that it's racism is what makes it such a big topic. You know, people's mums are like, oh yeah, Sterling. It's like, who the hell is? Do you know who Sterling is? Not before today, but someone was racist to him. That you know, and then they're on it. Do you know what I mean? It's because racism is
It's still a strong, you know.
it's a strong draw, and a strong draw. Yeah, but yeah, no, I
It's still
think
a problem. You know what I mean?
Sorry?
It's still a problem.
Yeah, of course, massive
I don't think
problem. Massive problem.
And
I
that's
mean,
why
where does
I
everyone...
think-
Sorry, just to ask, where does everyone, like, work? If I can just ask, like, people, where do people work? If you get what I mean. Because so I work in a school, and I can tell you now, we've got one black head of school, okay? And she's better than majority of them. If you get me, not saying because I'm black, this is truth, because she had to do that to get there. There's one. Senior teachers, 2%.
I think you've got to be twice as good and work 3
Yeah,
times as hard.
if you say how many black people are in the school, at least 50-50. But how many black people are in the higher positions in the college? 2%, 3%.
Yeah.
So that's education, and I know it's the same with my dad. So I was asking where does other people work, if anyone's in that kind of environment, to see what's it like. Your management, your CEOs, whatever, are they
I've worked
colour or
in
colour?
3 finance companies, and it's only been the highest position I've seen is a finance manager who's black.
Nothing
And
beyond.
in a big company, there's like obviously there's another finance director, then there's his boss and the boss after that, and the highest I've seen is the finance manager. And like if you look at from a junior position, it's like it's still only middle, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not high at all.
Yeah. Anyone else? Not about
Higher
like
level.
I said, my school. Tons of black people out there, but
At the higher level.
Yeah, higher level.
Well, you don't see that often, to be honest. But the thing is, how do you break that ceiling, though?
No, that's the whole point. Like,
No, but who's at the
Yeah.
top?
yeah, who's
It's
there?
like media,
Yeah, that's how. That's
So
how does it stop? Yeah, who owns your media outlet? So Piers Morgan used to own Daily Mirror or something like that, right? White man.
Yeah.
Okay, like
Who's doing
and
the
not just
hiring?
white
I
man,
see what
because
you're
that's the thing. They
So
try
say
to get as well.
how many black?
Personally,
Yeah.
Personally, I work for a sales company, and what I've seen is that influence starts from the top, because the money comes from the top, and opportunities come from the top. The top being my director, basically. He runs the show. His behavior is replicated by managers. He's a white, successful male. I don't think he sees, people the same way. You know what I mean. I think he's kind of a racist, and that's been replicated. And across the whole management board, 20 years or so, however long they've been existing, there hasn't been one black manager in London for this company.
Okay.
And what I'm basically, I'm just agreeing with you, because you're saying that it starts from the top. It's the top that's racist, and that's being replicated across the whole company. If you're peaceful up there, everyone else is going.
So then, what do we say to fix it? Like, do we have to make our own publications to just kind of sterilize these racist things? Because then, who's going to read it? We know other black people read it, but we're already aware of what we're experiencing. So how would you start opening the agenda? Like, how would you open the conversation to people that actually need to hear it?
I think you just make it public. You make it very visible. If you get what I mean.
Because people are trying, though. But I'm just thinking of like just normal publications that would have a columnist that had a chance to.
But where are your connections
view.
coming from in the first place to get any kind of real power? Like it's advertising, media. Every single one of these places that pop up that become successful, whatever field you're in. You need connections in the first place to do it.
Yeah.
You need people to help you out or to give you loans or whatever to get you started in the first place. So when you are in a Western country from the beginning, and you're like, oh yeah, let's do an all black publication or all kind of publication or whatever, just like something to promote that. It's difficult because you ain't got no power there in the first place. You ain't got no links to help you or anything like that.
And then to be fair, keep going.
Yes.
And then to be fair, when you do, even if you was to make it to a substantial level, 9 times out of 10, if your agenda doesn't meet the other media outlets, because if you notice, most of all the media, they kind of follow the same.
That's the thing, and
So
it's
doesn't meet
clickbait,
those
isn't
lines,
it? You're not
they're
gonna get the
already trying to
clicks,
shut you down
like
anyway,
you were saying, yeah.
Look at Mobos.
That's what I'm
People
saying.
try to come for Mobos.
Yeah, like
if we had an all-white award in today's
that's
day
what
and
I'm saying.
age,
always
you'd bring
say
it
that.
in.
They
And
always
that's what
say
will
that.
happen. That's what will happen. That's
They
exactly
always
what
say
will
that.
happen. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's I think the best thing that you can do is just highlight, make it painfully obvious.
No, but when you say you make it painfully obvious,
Yeah.
are we doing that? Are we doing that ourselves? Are we? Do we have to do it? And then that's people. That's what I'm saying. People make columns, and they'll like opinion pieces where they actually get their view out in a main publication. But who's reading that? The same people the people that are already aware of the issue. That's what I'm saying. Like, no one else is reading the publication. Like, the people that you want to, and if they read it, they'll be like, "Oh, you're ranting." Oh, like, here's another person that's a snowflake.
No, but I don't think everyone would read it that way.
I feel like a lot of people do, because we live in a world where it's just full of trolls.
oh shit, 2 people would be like, oh damn, and then the rest wouldn't care.
I feel like the only people that read those things are people that already kind of have a sense. I don't feel like anybody that is already blissfully ignorant would turn to something to say, okay, change my mind. I feel like they'll only go on there for more hate or more.
At the same time, that you know when they highlight sometimes at the same time when you know when they highlight stuff like this, like this sort of racism, don't you think it makes like other kind of like companies or like people surrounding it be like, oh shit, like we don't want to get called out like these people? Do you think it can kind of work for?
So then, see, that's when I think that's only like we're stepping into a world of tolerance rather than acceptance.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I don't want to just be tolerated. You want to be accepted.
No, but it has to start somewhere. Look, understand the media has the power to make that stuff happen immediately. If you look at homosexual, the whole regime right now, boom, that took 7 years. 7 years to take it from you turn on your comedy show and they're making blatant jokes about a homosexual person to you can't say that in the street or you're getting run down. 7 years of hard graft before they completely changed what you're allowed to say, do.
I just want to agree with Daniel what you said earlier. So is when companies, are not brave enough to kind of step out the box and not follow other companies and what they're doing. So in regards to positively shouting out towards racism and being the only company to do that, like that, they no company will do that in this day and age. I feel we live in a world.
No, I feel like they would now. Because I feel like that would be a marketing tool.
Where everyone follows
that's like kind of what Nike do.
Like, look what happened with the fucking
people.
Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, like just the kind of like.
But I feel they use that as an agenda.
100%, because then they still support the racist people too. They sponsor
but they still make their trainers.
Everything else is still messed up, so I don't really see it as.
Hey, we can make a bit of money out of
they're
this.
selling more shirts.
And that kind of goes back to the kind of selective racism again.
Yeah.
I just find it. I just think. Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to just get the change, but I think the way to resolve it in a way is is somewhere to start. Is the media portraying a certain way to actually stop people thinking? But again, yeah, like you're saying,
why is the
people at the top are the ones that aren't going to change it.
Why is the media going to do that?
That's
like I said earlier, it's like the headline. It just breeds the hate and the segregation. So it just starts all over again, and it keeps. Because what will happen after that? After Sterling, another topic will come, and another topic will come. How many years are we going to deal with the same topic of racism? How are we going to move forward if we're still thinking about?
But this is why I find it so backwards.
You have to think. It's because it's not going to change until the people at the top change. We live in a white country. This is a British white, institutionally white country. All of the buildings and everything, they're all owned by white people. So their sons are going to have them, and
nepotism.
Their grandchildren,
They're
going to stay within white families. So until, I'm not saying that white people are always going to be racist, but until I've got white friends that are from my generation now that will get everything that we're saying in this room, they'll really relate to it. Until those people, basically until time goes on and they get to be the people who are at the top. We're not going to be able to have a conversation because this is a white country.
But why would it change if they can keep?
I agree with that, but I feel like the people that are on top aren't the same people that are our friends. Like you're saying, the white friends that agree with everything we're saying.
And do you know why I think that?
They're not the same people at top.
And do you know why I think that?
Personally, I feel like the only way, and it sounds mad.
Let's go.
I'm ready.
Wait, where are you gonna go? Wait.
Casey, be careful, right? Be careful.
Wait, slow down. But Casey, okay,
no, it's his opinion, isn't it? It's his opinion.
Yeah. What are you gonna say next?
You can say what he wants.
Revolution. Straight up, there ain't no other way.
What kind of revolution are we talking?
Then people get killed.
Okay, alright.
What, Viva Revolution?
Those people get killed. They ain't gonna change. They ain't gonna change because they're the people that fund it from the top. And until they're gone,
do I put this bit in?
It's not going to change.
This is words, isn't it? It's not all words. Master, should I put this in?
Their own individual opinions.
It's a disclaimer. Shush. It's getting raucous. Wait. These are not the opinions of Chatty and Saltfish. This is. These are expressed by individuals of.
There's studies that
Okay. Basically, what I wanted to say, right? you were making it seem as if it's the media that's causing racism. Not everyone has access to the media. Not everyone has phones, laptops, whatever, TVs. Racism has been,
that's true.
Has been ongoing from back in the day, bro. Slavery, man.
Yeah.
All that stuff they say, it's true. You know, it's been going on for I don't know how many years. Unfortunately, I can't confirm that right now, but it's been going on for a while. You know, and the media is not the answer. The answer is actually people, communities changing, communities mixing, seeing what other people are like. Because if you grow up in a white community, everything you perceive, everything you hear, you know, is from the elders, and that is passed on to the next generation.
Of course,
and
yeah,
the next
continues.
generation.
But we can't forget that a lot of that.
in school is bad information.
Yeah, information comes.
What you're told in school is always challenged at home. You go home, you know, as a child, you ask your parents or your friends or something in society a question.
Let me stop you right there. You said parents. They've been attacking that for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Most people don't.
But
Like,
how is the answer?
No, but I'm trying to say in terms of, so a lot of these people out there don't have like them strong family structures in the first place to be reinforcing things. They're out trying to make their kids survive in the first place because they're put in areas where they can't do that. They ain't got both parents there at every sense to be like, oh, what did you hear today? Oh, let me challenge that and make sure that's okay.
Yeah.
Even though
And
I think that's mad.
right?
And
Because
communities coming together, like what's that man? I don't know his name, but he is the race relations officer to the police, and they constantly harassing him. He's been arrested like 3-4 times for doing nothing. And he's the man that is the race relations to the, you know what I mean? It's like it's institutionalized. There's separate conversations.
Yeah, you said no separate conversations.
Don't look at me like that.
Yeah, but you was the one that was talking. Mate. That's the problem. I didn't say nothing. It was you, bro.
Yeah, Casey, what are you saying? You can't remember.
That's alright. That's alright.
I can't remember where I was going. I know what I was saying. I was talking about the man that's harassed by the police, who is the race relations officer to the police in that community, and they keep arresting him and roughing him up, and he's not doing nothing. But I can't remember what that was in relation to. Something about communities.
Yeah, it was about mixing communities because I was saying that he doesn't.
He's the man who's meant to be the bridge of the community
Between,
and they're still roughing him up just because of his appearance. I think he's an old Rasta man with dreads.
Oh, that's what. Okay, I was gonna say now. Yeah, now that makes sense.
But what Carl said, you know, earlier, that you said teachers parents are challenged.
Yeah, like in terms of you, as a parent, if you're working, you're not always with your kids. Do you get what I mean? If you're not in a 2-person relationship where you've got that time where you can take turns and whatever, a lot of what your child learns is not going to be from you. You're going to control as much as you physically can, but that's only going to be down to what they tell you, number one, and what you're just around to challenge in the first place. So a lot of it, and if you just don't just take it just from like those from poor neighborhoods, it's just about your kids in general. A lot of the information comes from other people they interact with and the media. And it's not just the media in terms of like the news, it's what you see. If you go out onto like the road and you look at like a poster and the girls are on there, so you know the whole feminist movement and whatever, the girls look a certain way. My aunties from time were like, Carl, no, the reason why you guys find light skinned girls attractive is because of this. And we used to argue, me and my cousins used to go mad, like, how can you tell us we're getting control? But it's a fact, every girl who's seen to be nice looks a certain way, curly hair, light skin, whatever. They push it. You might not think it, but they push it. And it's one of those things, it's the same thing with this racism stuff. It's not about them saying be racist. Yeah. It's about creating a space where people feel okay to be racist.
It's very subtle.
They're like, oh no, but look, I'm not racist, but all you black boys are thugs and whatever because you're always doing this.
And it's like that story you're talking about, the Raheem Sterling thing. Most people wouldn't clock that by them saying flashy after a defeat, they've put a negative spin on something.
No, that's the thing. No, that's the thing. It's completely subtle and subliminal. Because when you hear flashy, you think, what, you think you're better than me? The people that are reading that are probably like,
but
look
he's
at
a
him
football player. He's on how much?
No,
of
but
course he's gonna buy a $2 million.
But
that's not out of the.
But hearing young footballer buys £2 million house for his mum sounds like, oh, that sounds nice. But young footballer buys £2 million flashy house. Now, what does that sound like?
So it makes it sound like it's not working.
And it makes it, no, it just makes it sound like
it's unnecessary.
It makes it sound like he's saying he's better than you. That
it's not
flashy
needed.
word, that flashy word makes it say
and
like.
then they add in after not performing too well.
Yeah,
It's
just it's very subtle. It's just very
You don't earn
subtle.
anything
No,
from
but
playing
it's just
for the
very
national team.
subtle. It's very subtle, and it's a way of pushing agenda to rally against somebody that you want them to pick Public Enemy. That's why Balotelli was picked. That's why Pogba's still getting picked.
Yeah.
He's
Pogba
not.
that has certain things in his hair, and they're like, oh, why has he got that stupid hairstyle? It's like, mate, you go to that's not culture. What are you talking about?
They're like,
Do you know what I mean? There's nothing to do with him thinking he's better.
He's
Man
not-
United-
It's culture.
For example, they'll say that.
Any person in that kind of look at Deontay Wilder, yeah, probably one of the
Boxer,
best,
right?
one of the best boxers in our generation. There's no denying his knockout power, but he is not known around the world because the media don't push him because he says what he wants to say. And he said, you see him go off at Radio Raheem, who's a boxing journalist.
No.
He went off at him about
the black thing.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I
the
saw
black-
that. Yeah, that was mad.
because they made this big story about Tyson Fury coming back from depression and being a gypsy and coming from nothing.
Yeah.
And he went off about, bro, look where our people come from.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Oh yeah, I
Went
saw that.
off,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
I did
crazy.
see that.
And that's that he don't hold his tongue.
Yeah.
And he's knocked out everybody he's faced. The only person that went the distance with him, he had a rematch and knocked him out. There's no even Tyson Fury, he knocked him down, had him on the floor
Twice.
You know what I mean? He's one
Yeah.
of the greatest, but most people don't know about him.
Hmm.
Like he's not like he's only just started earning good money from his fights. He's not getting Anthony Joshua kind of money or Tyson Fury kind of money.
So all we can do basically is what we're saying. I'm just saying like because I want to switch to I want to round up, or this topic anyway. Yeah, I'll say it. So what we're saying is like we know where we can help. I mean, in the media. What we're saying is that that's the place to start. No, you don't agree with that.
I
at
don't
all?
agree with that.
People own the media.
Capitalism, was
Yeah,
funded
you
by
said
slavery,
kill people,
so you
but that
burn
was
it down.
madness.
Like, no, but it's true. Like capitalism, the society we live in was built on the back of slavery. All that money, all that free labor, all that money they generated in that period of time has created so much wealth and such a gap between everybody else in the world that they have the money to do these things.
I hear you.
So until you attack that, you
Okay.
don't have a fight.
I hear what you're saying, but
You know
what
I
I'm
mean?
saying, what I believe is just, I think a lot of keys is a lot of things is education and being like well educated enough to
Yeah, but the
be
people doing
open
the
to seeing
educated,
the things.
the people doing
But
the
what I'm
educated
saying
are in
is,
that position
and a
of
lot,
power,
no, but
so
what I'm
they're
saying,
pushing
wait,
they're pushing their
yeah,
agenda
but
and
what I'm
their
saying
stuff.
is, a lot of
So
people,
you start up your media channel, and like you said, the only people
But what
that
I'm saying, a lot of people-
believe in it and read it are the people that already turned.
but what I'm
on.
saying is a lot of
You're
people
not
that,
gonna get
what
to-
are
you're not
people,
going to get to people in the council estates going, fuck Raheem,
yeah, but what I'm
You're
saying
not
is,
gonna
but
get
what I'm
to
saying,
that.
if everyone is educated, and a lot of people get educated from what they read or whatever, or what they see and blah blah blah, they learn. So if we had the media outlet,
They're never
If
gonna
it
reach
doesn't
that.
work for you, then it doesn't matter if you're educated in it.
Yeah.
Like if it doesn't work for what
You'll
you
reach
want
that
it to
point.
work for, it doesn't matter.
Like, if
With
I
the
give you-
media, every day, no matter where you look, or
I mean,
It's
if
like that thing they say.
I'm just
You
saying,
know,
like, for instance, I'm just saying, like, if one of the like the really the tabloid papers decide to just change their agenda completely, like just all the tabloid papers just change their agenda completely, and then eventually people would be taken in the subliminal messages, and they will be thinking a different way. You can't help but
not
be
necessarily.
and a lot of people that we say are the ignorant ones that don't even understand racism, they wouldn't even be aware they're being
We're not
manipulated,
talking
and
about
they'll
one headline
see
here. We're talking about
differently.
many, like over the years.
But what I'm saying is-
so
We're going
Yeah,
beyond
but-
the tabloids.
No, but what I'm
who
saying-
owns the tabloids and who's
Yeah, but what I'm
and
saying-
what they can publish
it's not.
because
No, but
you're
I'm
right,
no,
if
no,
people
but
got
I'm
the
saying no,
information,
no.
they
I'm
wouldn't
saying
be.
no. I'm saying a what if scenario where these people were actually doing like these were people
So why
actually
would the
did
media
change their
exist?
Then
subject.
we
That
live in a
happens.
lovely world.
But
like,
yeah,
like
that's that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm
Why
saying.
would the
That's what I'm
media
saying. No,
exist?
but that's what I'm
What you're
saying.
trying to say is
What-
start-
That's
you should
what
start
I'm saying.
education.
But what that's what Casey you said. If the media did change their way, we would live in a lovely world,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm saying the media is a place where it would need to change.
But if we live in a lovely world,
You see what I'm
if we
saying?
live in a lovely world,
Education.
then media wouldn't exist.
Education. of
Yeah,
people.
no,
Be
no,
honest.
it's true, but yeah, but I understand what you're saying is not. It's not false. It's definitely true. But I think like what Casey is saying, and it's obviously when people usually give up on a conversation because it gets really messy and complex, is that education. Yeah, if you want to change people's education, you have to who chooses what people are educated.
And it costs money.
Yeah, like there's people who choose what's put in the media. There
There's
are
a
people who
national
choose what is
curriculum.
on your curriculum. There are
Yeah.
people who choose all these things. And what Casey's saying is that all these people are upper class.
At
People,
the
for
top.
black people who benefited from slavery, who don't actually care about that stuff,
I understand.
and want to keep themselves
They
in
wanna
that
keep
position.
Because the same people that you're talking about that are sitting reading the Daily Mail, the Daily Mail has their demographic, and it's not rich white people. Rich white people, I bet you don't read the Daily Mail.
No way. You wouldn't be
It's
caught.
targeted.
They're targeting the poor people that are living in the same council blocks as the black people. But they're
You're
it's divide
better
and
than
conquer.
Yeah.
Straight there, it's divide and conquer because you lot are in the same situation. You know what I mean? The black and white people are living in the same shit, and the rich people are still creaming all the money.
Yeah, it's the whole
If
house,
you
it's
can-
the whole
if you
house
can-
nigga
if
thing,
you-
right?
yeah,
Like, in
if
terms
you
of
can
like,
divide those people, then you can stay where you're staying.
I'll give you-
because
I'll
They
give
don't
you-
they don't want people to come up and take their money.
I'll give you a simple example.
You're
Yeah.
so
Look
distracted
how.
fighting each other that
So
you're not
distracted.
going to go to them.
I'll give you a simple example.
You're
Look how.
worried about Raheem.
Look how ants.
Raheem's gone. He's clear. He's
the ant-
got his £2 million house. It don't matter. You don't care what you think about him.
If ants-
Whether he's flashy
if
or
ants
not.
move, for
He's got
example,
AK-47 on his on
Then
his,
they would
on
not
his
be able
leg.
to build their colony. So think about it. If everyone was grouped together like ants, they'll be able to be a lot stronger and more powerful. So what's the best way to separate a powerful group?
Divide it.
Divide and conquer. I think it's just that simple.
Yeah, it's easy. It's like you say with the ants and bees, they work together. They have a queen, yeah. So in a bee hive, in a colony of bees, they have a queen. Like in our heads, we're like, oh, the queen's the most powerful. Like our queen, she's got all the money, she makes the decisions. That's not how it goes. If the queen is not doing her job correctly in the hive, the worker bees will kill her and make a new queen.
Oh, that's
It's
mad.
all for the hive.
That's mad.
It's for the hive.
Yeah.
Like nobody, everybody sacrifices. Like a bee will live 6 months in the winter because they're not doing nothing, and they'll die within 6 weeks in the summer because they work so hard to produce food for the colony, for the young, to get through to the winter. It's all for the hive. There's no hierarchy. This hierarchy thing don't really work. Because then somebody sits on the top.
On the
all
top,
money
just
nothing.
doing nothing.
And then everyone's at the bottom working hard.
No, that's not how it works.
That's not how it should work.
Okay, so where do you want to leave this one? Because I want to get on to the next topic.
I've seen the next topic.
What's the next topic?
Is this in terms
Well,
of
Kevin Hart and homophobia.
Well, basically,
if it's in terms,
Can I finish it?
You got easy, got easy.
Sorry.
yeah.
He's just ready. Kenny was ready.
Conclusion, bro.
I'm saying if you're concluding this,
Yeah.
then I personally think it's bigger than Raheem Sterling. I think it's just one person.
100%.
It's just an example. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
And it,
Yeah, I
Change
agree.
the castle.
You know, and I personally think it starts at home. You know, no matter where you're from, if you have racist views, fix it at home.
Yeah, racism is definitely nurture. It's nurture.
To be honest, I don't think it starts from home because when you look at like examples,
Oh yeah, this is Jordan, by the way.
when you look at examples like Pogba and Kante, like when a confident person like Pogba, he gets like the media targets him because he's confident, but a person like Kante who kind of submissive, very quiet, very humble.
They love
it's
him.
like you have
Playing
to,
their
it's
game.
Like,
They love him.
when you get to a high position, you have to like no matter how hard you work, you have to be thankful for what you have. But like, why should you be thankful when you've worked for it?
Yeah, the case in point, Anthony Joshua, like you were saying.
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
I heard Deontay Wilder speaking about Anthony Joshua as a black man, but he plays the game exceptionally well.
Yeah.
Exceptionally well.
He's a
never
nice
messes
guy.
up. Do you know what I mean?
He's a nice guy.
And everyone knows what AJ used to be on.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And what he's originally on. He's not
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but
He's articulate when he's on media.
Yeah.
I've seen him. Yeah.
But also very humble. Like
It's almost like it's almost
Alright.
like this is an example of what you should be.
Yeah, and the thing is, AJ knows this.
Yeah.
Everyone knows
Of course
AJ's
he's
not actually
aware
like
of
that.
it.
He's
Yeah.
a smart man. He was like,
and that's why, that's
Yeah.
why AJ gets 50 million a fight,
Yeah.
and Deontay Wilder got what 8 million for his last fight.
I see.
And that last fight against Tyson Fury was the best heavyweight boxing match
Alright.
in years.
So what you gotta say?
Yeah.
Play the game. And now I'm
I'm not saying.
I'm
I'm
wrapping.
saying that.
No, I'm wrapping up.
Can't wrap that up like that. You open
Yeah, but he wasn't saying that though.
We told you not to open
We
that
ain't
kind of
telling you
work.
what game.
If you watch the highlights,
And now you want to go to Kevin Hart.
If you watch the highlights of Dylan White,
And homo-
you'll
and
see
his
AJ's
homophobic
personality
comments.
slip out. Because everyone's like, oh, AJ's a friendly guy.
Well, you saw when he didn't comb his hair that day on the fight. He wasn't on
Oh
it,
yeah, it's
remember?
bare nappy.
No time for that, bro. No time for that.
Every
Yeah.
black man knew like man's hair not
He's
combed.
serious,
you know?
bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's serious.
You know, he
Serious
just
time.
wanted to smoke. He
But
wanted to
when, when he took on Dylan White at the end, it slipped out his personality, the arrogance. Then it went back.
Then he humbles
Yeah,
himself
they
and he goes
humble himself.
back to media AJ.
I heard it.
Even the way he's looking at him, it's
Yeah.
like, that's you. That's
Yeah.
the real that guy. Yeah, but you make sense.
Okay.
And it's like, oh, hold on.
Okay, let's run it.
Okay.
Next topic.
Compose yourself.
Let's conclude with
Alright,
Anthony
next.
Joshua.
All right, next topic. Let's run it. Because we during that one we mentioned Carl, you mentioned the homophobic, how like 7 years ago, how it just everything's changed, And recently, Kevin Hart has been hit with something that happened to him about like 2020. 2020? 2010. 2010, where he has lost the ability to host is it the Grammy? No, where's
Oscars.
The Oscars. The lost ability to host the Oscars for a homophobic
tweet.
Yeah, no, not tweet. Part of his stand-up that was on a Netflix.
No, I swear it was on the tweet.
It was a Netflix as well.
Huh?
There's a Netflix stand-up. Yeah, there's a Netflix stand-up show where they're saying.
No, but I thought they dug up his tweets.
Yeah,
That's
all
the.
tweets.
Ain't
Yeah,
that what the Oscars
his
are
tweets,
about?
and also he had a homophobic stand-up that they're still saying that should be taken off Netflix at this point.
But that's not to do with the Oscars, though, is it?
It's to do, yeah, but also because
I thought the tweets.
he
I
lost
thought
the
the
Oscars.
tweets.
Yeah, but he lost Oscars.
The tweet, innit? Yeah.
Yeah, but now they're also uncovering more from the archive
Tweet from 10 years ago.
against him, and they're saying that the homophobic stand-up should be taken down. And
Is that the one about his son being gay or something?
yeah,
Yeah.
the sketch when he was saying about his son being gay,
Yeah.
and at that
Yeah.
and at that time,
Or I'll tell him that's gay.
do you feel like I feel like at the time as well? Do you feel now he should be getting the backlash for that stand-up that was at a time where those jokes were just common knowledge?
No.
Can you really? Because he wouldn't do that in his shows now.
No, I think
Like
taking it down is perfectly fine because of the fact that it's like no, now this is not acceptable.
Yeah.
But you can't say that because the fact of it is, I will investigate 95% of people out here. If you get what I mean, for the past 12, 20 years, and see if you made a
And
homophobic
straight away,
comment. You're all
Everyone's guilty. Everyone's guilty.
I don't
Yeah.
care where you come from.
Everyone's guilty.
Everyone's sitting there laughing. Even like Friends and massive shows like Friends and stuff had
Yeah.
tons of it. Do you know what I mean? Every gay person before, any gay person,
There's loads of
mad
jokes.
flamboyant.
Loads of
You
jokes,
get what
yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
Every single show was
They
part of
mocked
the
it.
culture.
Like
Yeah,
it-
yeah,
mocked.
they mocked it, yeah.
It was a safe zone. You know, say
Yeah.
like gingers.
Yeah.
Or whatever. It was a safe
Yeah.
zone. You could always make a joke about a gay
Yeah.
person. It was
Yeah.
always or a transsexual person or
Yeah.
whatever.
Absolutely.
Now it's
Like, do you
different.
feel like he should be facing the backlash for what he said in the past?
no,
Like,
personally,
should he be held accountable for the tweets
It
though?
was in that era.
No, that's
Like,
what
this
I'm
is
saying.
in that time.
Acceptable then. You just
Yeah.
have to just be like, well, he's not doing it now. He's grown now. He knows it's not acceptable now. He doesn't do it now.
He hasn't said
Okay,
it now.
so
That's
now,
why I
okay,
don't
so
understand.
now, okay. I don't want to sound. I don't want
We
to.
let Carver speak because my
Alright.
mom's hurting.
All right.
No, personally, I just wanted to add that this, I feel personally, is happening because the media is currently riding a bandwagon where one media outlet posts about someone having sexual intercourse with a girl 10 years ago, or someone posting homophobic comments 20 years ago, and everyone wants to follow that same story only because it's trending right now. That's what's popping right now. Literally, everyone is like, how many people have been fucking killed because of shit like that? So I feel it's just the media basically making it a trend.
Okay,
Because
so
it's such a big trend, he can no longer
Alright,
represent
so
the Oscars. It's
I just want to make
think
because
it's
I know
social media
I
as
knew.
well, because before you wouldn't be able to find that stuff or dig it up so easily.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just there. You can't
Okay,
just
no.
these Twitter and be like, oh yo, you said this in 2010.
Okay, no-
yeah, I said that in 2010, but
No,
nobody
but
remembers
this is what I'm
it.
saying, no,
And
but-
I've changed
wait,
and
listen,
grown as a
listen,
person.
wait, this is what I'm
So
saying.
that's why social media is dangerous, because they don't let you change. as well.
And in addition to what he's saying, apparently, like, what people can do now, they can, like, there's an app where they can search keywords in your tweets.
In their previous.
And it goes
So they
through.
literally
It goes through your
set
whole
all
timeline.
your
Yeah.
Okay, now what I'm saying
You
now.
just type
Okay,
gay
so
or you
so
type
so we
whatever,
so
like, no homo, and then you
Yeah.
just find it.
So
And
a few
every
weeks
time you
ago,
tweet it, it'll show
no,
you.
like a few weeks ago, I remember we discussed about the director. I cannot remember his name, but he does the Guardians of the Galaxy, and he was pulled up for paedophilic
You know his name?
tweet jokes. With, it was James something or something.
Oh yeah, I think I saw something. Like that.
Remember we talked about, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
okay,
they're a
we
bit mad, though.
recently talked about some tweets he made about kids.
Yeah.
That comedy, and we said it was unacceptable. Like he should have lost his job for
Yeah,
that.
100%.
So just so we're not contradicting ourselves right now,
No.
why are Kevin Hart
That's not the
okay?
same thing.
No,
I know. I'm just asking the question. Just so
unacceptable at the time
I'm just
they made
saying.
the tweets.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Like, so we can clarify why is he different,
Okay.
and then the other man
I think
keep.
Alright,
it.
it was unacceptable at the time we made the tweets.
Yeah.
So culturally,
So it's always
like
been unacceptable.
Yeah, it's always been. It's like murder. They've always been homophobic. Like I think that because of the way this movement's happened, people are they're not honest with themselves. So everyone's like, no, I'm really for equality and whatever, but are not accepting the fact that this is a change.
Yeah.
This is a change from how they once
Exactly.
were. They're acting like they were always like this, which is a lie.
Exactly.
So it's like
and let's not not forget the fact that he's apologized already.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. He's apologized for this already, and they basically wanted him to apologize again. So it's like, bro, why am I? I've already apologized. So why are you making me apologize again? Just to kind of, and that's what they were saying. It's like they're trying to make. It's like that whole kind of dance kind of thing. That kind of like.
Like show the world, we made you say it again.
We're controlling you, bro.
Like say sorry now, like got his arm behind his back. Like if you got this job,
sorry now, or you ain't getting out. And it's like, bro, I've already apologized, though.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, we just want.
So it's almost like they're taking a big star and they're making an example.
You know what I mean? It's like, imagine.
Was his tweet slurs or was it comedy stuff?
If you think about
no, it was.
I don't know. I don't know what the tweets were.
There might have been a maggot in there.
I think the big picture,
but
based on what Martin was going to say, I think it's simple as no matter how big you are, we're pushing this movement and you have to follow it.
Yeah,
It's
all about the movement and what, and it goes back to the people in control and what they're pushing, because the agenda is to get this homosexual LGBT, and they keep adding things. So
LGBTQ.
and now you can do this.
I know
And now
Q's
there's a
in
Q. I've seen rainbow buses and I've seen rainbow banks and I've seen
Football. They have
footballers wearing rainbow laces.
But is that not?
And that's not a problem.
I was gonna say,
That's
is that
because you're
movement?
raising awareness, yeah. But there's more important things. Like, I ain't never seen an all black bus. I ain't never seen banks for
Okay,
displaying a
okay,
black
no, but
flag.
okay,
You know what I mean?
okay. Oh no,
What happened
no,
to
wait,
racism? Let's go back to racism. What happened to racism?
Listen.
No,
Listen.
Can I just add to what you said? Right?
No, but this is actually based on what I know. I need to say this. What he's saying is like now we're seeing all the rainbow stuff. No, because bro, I can hear you. I have the headphones this time.
Man said that straight into the microphone. We can hear it, man.
We need to keep that.
As clear as day.
How's that this nigga here? Clear as hell.
Clearer than Dane.
Yeah. This nigga here. Is this the way he leaned in? He leaned in. This nigga here.
I can't hear because my eyes looking that way.
Yeah. So what you're saying, Casey? You're saying like because now they're pushing a lot of rainbow stuff, like to basically just move the movement forward.
Yeah,
now,
cool,
now what I'm saying,
like,
no, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, and you say there's no black that, but I'm saying there was a time, where because obviously it's different things are being pushed though, but there was black things at the time to get us to where we are now.
No.
Man had to die.
No. Because let's
But I'm saying the protest has moved in a different way now.
No. Let's look at it like from aspects of what we're talking about in who's in control in your school. Gay men are very, very successful. I know a lot of gay friends, innit? I'm not homophobic, innit? I've got gay friends. And a lot of gay white men that I know are in very high positions. High positions, earning good money. They're like, yes, they are abused, innit? And I feel like that's why I said the rainbow thing. I agree with it. Yeah, cool. Put it out there, information. Don't be homophobic. You know what I mean?
But
like, everyone should be accepted, but they're not a group of people, that have been held back systematically.
I don't think that's true. Wait, okay, stop, Casey. Stop. I want Kof to say something before you continue, but let me say something.
Cool. What I wanted to add to this, if you think about, is if you think about the bigger picture, right? Look at Kevin Hart, how big of a name that is. Oscars, they've been dead. Who knows about them? This could simply be a promotional stunt.
I don't think I've ever watched Oscars.
Look at H&M, all this shit they're doing with racism. These are promotional stunts. I personally feel.
I think it dates back to what I said.
Who let them put that little black kid in that? What was that T-shirt?
The jumper.
Come on, man. No one.
So it's not checked.
The monkey one.
No one. What?
For
You're
legal
telling
reasons.
me they don't check it?
Yeah.
Like, hey, yo.
It has to go through so
Why is the white?
So many checks, so many legal.
Why is the white kid in Explorer? Like it wasn't just the black kid was in that, because it's fine the black kid being in that T-shirt.
No,
Did you see the Wakanda one?
Wait.
The white kid's in Explorer.
Wait, you're getting sidetracked. You're getting sidetracked, Casey. Before you let.
It's all
I think it dates back to what we were talking about. That a lot of the time they throw up a card of racism, as in they give you an example of it, like Sterling, the black kid. I think it's just a reminder to start the trouble again.
No, there was a point.
It's a reminder, it's there.
No, there was a point.
No, it's like to remind us, it's there, like to remind you it's there.
Yeah.
Like, listen.
It's a reminder.
this is your place.
Yeah.
Try and
Yeah.
remember it.
No, there's a point.
Then what happens after that? You start thinking about.
Be flashy.
Attention is everything. Like in this day and age, attention is everything. So if you're a media outlet, all I want is attention.
No, but what I'm saying is, there was a bit that Casey said about, he said that like the LGBT community haven't had the same struggle that black people had, and we can't honestly say that ourselves because I feel like they have.
I don't think LGBT.
Stop. Let me finish, bro.
No, but I don't think they went through 400 years of slavery.
I'm gonna
bro.
stop him.
I don't think they.
No, but it's true. No, but what you're saying.
No,
It's just
that's what I'm saying.
And to be honest, you can't mention slavery because it's still going on now.
You let me finish my point.
Alright, let him.
The thing is, we can't say that. Like, no one in this room is homosexual, so they don't know.
That we know.
This is the reason why.
Wait.
You do not have to be black to know what we went through.
Yeah.
You can ask a white person who lived in the 70s. They can tell you what the hell they went through because it was on site. It was on site in the street. You didn't have to tell some of the stories. They were seeing it. Man getting run down in the middle of the street. It was visible.
What's bad is that he said it and laughed after.
When we was in school, there was a gang called Racist Attack from Eltham, and they will run you down. Like, that's what
good time.
2000.
Yeah.
That's in the 2000s,
And to be honest,
and that was calm because you only had to avoid Eltham.
And when you talk about the UK, we're not even talking about America where people are still being lynched.
Yeah, we're not even in America where the police might just roll up on you and shoot you because they felt like it.
They used to have
That's another
Or a
topic.
12-year-old because they got a toy gun in the park.
Yeah.
They used to
But
go
yet,
around
but
children
yet,
and
but
go,
yet,
"Oh, let's go
but
watch
yet
the
they
man
can
hang."
take in somebody who's just gunned down. How many people was it in that church? That white guy that gunned down all those
Too
people
many.
in that church,
Look
and
at
then they
that.
took him to Burger King on the way to the prison.
And look at the
They
headlines.
didn't shoot him.
Look at the headlines.
But that little kid with a
always
fake
mental.
gun in the park, they shot him down on sight.
Yeah.
Like it's not.
All them
I
kids,
don't
it's always a mental situation.
Yeah.
It's never, they say, black guy shoots up this, Muslim does this.
Yeah.
And that's
Obviously,
why.
that's another
But that's
topic.
why I said at the beginning. Yeah, I appreciate the
You
rainbow
didn't let
flag.
me finish.
The rainbow flag and pushing for equality wherever it's needed, isn't it? But I ain't seen the black flag.
Saying that we can't speak for the homosexual community, so we don't know what they face. We don't know a homosexual guy that hasn't got something because he's gay. We can't, you haven't experienced it. We can only experience what we experience as black people. Or like we can only experience something as a woman if we're women. We can only understand it to a certain level.
Yeah.
So we can't really. I'm saying what we saying. We can't really fight their fight and tell them you haven't been suffering.
Yeah.
I've suffered more. Like you can't. We can't pick and say that we battled more than them.
Yeah.
Just because like I'm just saying in like third world countries. Some of them are still getting like lynched or whatever.
And they
so
can
way
say
back,
it.
you know what I mean?
They can say it because the fact of it is that the difference is, and the reason why I think everyone's trying to talk is because this is something that's said a lot and it upsets a lot of people. So women have been through madness. Madness. You can't own nothing except for your husband. You can't go to work. You can't do this. You can't. You're second-rate citizens for years. Struggle, yeah. Homosexuals, ostracized, made fun of. You can't do this. Struggles. They're all struggle. But slavery and what black people feel is not just a struggle.
As a grown
This is
adult, you have to judge when something is better, what is worse and what is even worse. Yeah, you make a judgment of that, and I make a judgment saying, well, 400 years and all of that violence and stuff is worse than what they went through. I can say that 100%, and any other adult in this world should be able to make that judgment.
You come into my yard, take my kid away. Do you know what I mean? Send him on a thing. Take my daughter at like 10 years old. Take me to bring her up and make slaves. Come on now, don't chat to me. Don't chat to me.
It's quite controversial, yeah. But as a gay person, and a lot will argue it's not a choice, isn't it? But that's why I say your eyes are gay because it's quite controversial. You're black, your skin is black in it. So when they took you for slavery, you didn't have no choice in it.
You can't tell them
but you
I'm
could
white.
pretend you weren't
Today.
gay in it.
Yeah, today I can go I'm white.
You could pretend you're not gay and then just avoid all that hate.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't want to because you got to live your life how you're living your life. And if
You
you're
know
gay
why?
and that's inherent to you,
know why?
then yeah, of course.
Do you know
But
why?
That's why it's not
Okay,
comparable.
okay. Now
Because
listen.
somebody else came
Listen. Do you know why I don't?
said, boom. You're going to here.
Do you know why I don't want to touch
You're going
this?
to work and you're going to be murdered and treated however we're going to treat you.
Do you know? No, but I'm saying this is why I'm saying we can't talk about someone else's struggle, because if you said I struggle more than you, but then Like,
No,
oh
but
no,
what-
actually no.
But we
If
weren't saying that. We're just saying
if you're saying
we're just saying where's the black flag and the
But one
agenda
thing,
pushed for the struggle.
I'm just
You know
saying
what I mean?
yeah,
we weren't saying that the gay, and that's why I said I appreciate the
definitely
rainbow
a
flag,
struggle.
innit?
A
Like,
struggle.
we weren't saying like
yeah, but
they're
one
not
thing.
struggling as hard. We're just saying, yo.
Yeah.
Or I'm just saying we
Aye,
can't.
when did the banks and all of the banks and all of the buses and all of everybody else say, yo, this ain't fair, let's stop this, before they said, do you know what I mean? Before everybody's got rainbow flag.
I think we can only talk for our own struggle. That's all we can do.
It is a more important struggle.
Which, I just think we just can only speak for the struggle that we deal with.
No,
Like,
I think that struggles in
because we can only understand another struggle to a certain extent.
No, but,
Yeah, but then
that's like an internal struggle. Look, the fact of it is, if you're very like, because we live in a good time, as bad as it is, it's a good time. Do you get what I mean? Second World War, First World War, slavery, it's a good time to live right now. You cannot equate someone being denied certain rights, someone not being able to be themselves, someone being, berated or whatever, to literally an entire race of people on the face of the earth being killed, sold into slavery, their children being separated, being made to fight in arenas like animals. Yeah, their women being raped on a regular. Yeah, the madness between when you actually say it. Yeah, when you actually say it, it's not a debate. It's about. It was one of the most disgusting things to ever happen in human history. You cannot then come and say, "Oh, my struggle."
It's also generations.
It's
as
not.
well.
It's
isn't
not
just one generation,
the same
it's great
thing in the slightest. That's the thing. It's not. It's not
That's
like
why
someone
like,
think.
they don't.
Yeah.
I don't think you should compare them.
And then it
It's
still
not-
goes on today, like that whole thing with the Windrush generation.
But what?
You know what I mean?
But what?
The whole thing with the Windrush generation, people have come over here to then
But how do you feel for-
fulfill roles that England then needed. Yeah,
But then
they're
how
like,
do you
"Alright,
feel
we'll
for
let you in, we'll let you in
But what
after
if
we-"
you're a homosexual minority at that time? Is the struggle not even harder? Because then at that point you couldn't even find solace with your family. That might possibly.
The whole problem with the racist conversation
You know what I mean?
is the fact that you can't say that that's more important.
Cows
Bruv, okay, real talk, real talk. I'm a homosexual man, yeah? I'm a homosexual man, yeah? You got a bag of people, not a bag, your government wants my family dead if I'm homosexual. Bruv, I'm not homosexual, innit?
Exactly.
We want to take my son, are you mad? I'm not homosexual, I'm good.
When they're
As a
already
black
being-
man,
Yeah.
I get seen anywhere. Anywhere at all, someone's calling them immediately. Me, my family, anyone who looks like me in the slightest.
And that's
is being
exactly the
taken.
point right there, yeah.
Yeah.
Is you're not saying that the struggles are necessarily, because obviously you want to be who you want to be, innit? But there's a way of avoiding it. You can then disappear. Do you know what I mean? Like, you couldn't change the colour of your skin.
So you almost had options in that sense.
You've got options, and I'm not saying that's good, innit? I'm not saying that should be fair, and
Yeah.
that's
That's
the
Slavery,
way
you had
it is,
options.
innit? But you can then turn around, I'm not gay. I'm not gay.
And I feel like the big problem
That's-
in the
you know what I
media,
mean,
yeah,
like-
is you should be able to say that racism is more of a struggle, but we can't. And every time you
'Cause
do
you wanna
say that,
offend
it's
someone.
like, but everything's equal in that. But no, it is worse.
And who are the people saying
100%
this?
It is worse.
And also, why is it when there's a black struggle, like everyone tells us here that we're overreacting or racism's not real?
It's
They don't understand
it's like
it.
Black Lives Matter should
Yeah.
be all lives matter.
Yeah.
What about all lives
Yeah,
matter?
of course, all lives matter.
Straight
but
away,
not
yeah.
all lives are being gunned down in the street.
but then
Black
you-
Lives Matter didn't come around because white people and this people and whoever people are getting shot systematically in the street for doing nothing. That's not why they
that was
started
the
saying
system.
that.
And then they created something
Damn.
called the race card, which means that anytime you bring up slavery, the person saying it is bringing up the race
They
card.
now want to be
do it.
excused from guilt.
Yeah,
You know what I
the
mean?
race card excuses them from guilt.
And the
And
funny
that's what it
thing,
is.
is that they say that it was 400 years ago, but the thing is that slavery is still affecting us today. Like in America, like the war on drugs,
What's he supposed to say? I don't know. My hands on it.
Sorry,
So loud that was.
sorry, Joe, sorry.
The brownies are coming out the oven.
No, but honestly, like in America, like the war on drugs, like the amount of people that were either arrested for small or minor like crimes, and they were sentenced to like 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
Kids never had like their parents or never had their dads. Their parents were killed. Like that affects like a generation over time because
They
like,
just
that's why.
swapped slavery for the prison system.
And then that's when you hear like stereotypes like, the kid never has a dad or the father's never around. Obviously, that's going to happen when it's a generational thing.
Yeah, of course.
I think this is a really good topic because, like I said, Andrew saying this is like obviously he's the one saying it, but lots of people think this way. Lots of people think this way, and people who will never interact with people like this.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, it is all the same. And it's like, okay, well, if we actually talk about what slavery was, I don't think you can still say that. But I think what Casey said, and one of the main points that I think listeners should take from this is it's about the power to affect change. Okay, so if you look at the different movements, so we've got the race movement, we've got the feminist movement, and then you've got the homosexual movement, yeah? And let's look at the success rates, yeah? Feminist, no men, right? So white men excluded, people with the most power. But they have white women. They are white. So therefore, kind of successful. You know, they still got a lot of stuff that needs to be done, and we're all for it. It's not about undermining anyone's struggle. It's just about assessing what's going on.
They're definitely further free.
Exactly. So they're like, okay, they're you know, they're in the middle. Yeah. Black rights. We had Martin Luther King dead. Do you get what I mean? Like, didn't non-violent protest or whatever. Not everyone even agreed. It's not about agreeing or thinking he was the best. Dead, killed. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's not just him. It was years and years and years and years and years of stuff.
Someone else steps up.
Yeah, to become second-class citizens. Yeah, you know, and even then we were only allowed to. If we did violent protests, we would have been killed on the streets.
Yeah, but you have to speak the language.
They didn't also want a leader of the black community. Have you noticed how when all these like successful people that brought black people together, they tried to either kill them or just
say they're crazy.
Yeah, or bring up certain things. Malcolm X try and make it seem an evil way. Yeah, but so like we've all of this. How long it's been going on for? How just like it's not there's in between. It's just mad racism, and we've become second-class citizens that still have all these problems today. Homosexuality brought out in the past 10, 15 years. The only one of these disadvantaged groups that include white men. Done. Pretty much done. You say anything on any stage, the media, everyone with power is out to back you because they have the power to affect change.
Who was it? One of the Migos had to apologise for having a homosexual lyric. When would a gangster rapper have to apologise for one of his lyrics? Do you know what I mean? They would say, I don't give a fuck. I'm spitting my truth. Do you know what I mean?
Because where's it going? It's going
because
to
they
that community.
understand that who's controlling the money, so I better say sorry so I keep my money coming in.
And where are those lyrics going? It's going to the community. The gangster rapper.
You know, nowadays, if you're homophobic, you'll be arrested. You'll just be arrested.
Everyone, and forget not even the police. People on the street will be on you. Immediately, how dare you do it?
How dare you treat him like that?
Someone says nigger on the street, they're like, oh, that's not good.
Wow. Everyone's quiet. I'll give an example.
It's either that, or you have to be the bigger person. They'll be like, walk away, don't react to it. Why have we always got to be the bigger person?
I'll give you an example. You're on the bus, and you say something like homophobic. Someone. Everyone's getting involved. Like, why are you treating him like that? Or equal, like that.
Or just dissent.
Then you hear something racist, and the reaction is different nowadays.
Bro,
the reaction's changing.
Even down to censorship. You can think about it. Like, I'll be listening to certain things, and they will blurt out that F word, but they would let nigga fly.
They're
flying out F, they're flying out fuck. And you're letting the N word fly. How?
You know
what I mean?
Like it's nothing.
So as soon as I see that, I'm just like, okay, anything can go really. Do you know what I mean?
So it's the aggression towards it. Go onto social media right now and put something, not even homophobic, just be like, you know what? I think there's a homosexual agenda. I think it's being pushed by them. You get attacked immediately by everyone. They'll be on it immediately, and they don't even realize it's in terms of the media. It's only like 10 years ago they were fine with it. That's what I'm saying. They were fine with it. Now they're like, no, I've always been like this. I've always thought this.
I can say certain things.
It's like it's not their fault. The media does that. And
I can say certain things that we all used to say when we were younger. And you can't say it now. Listen. Back in the day, like I talk about year 7 times.
Yeah, that's cool.
If you said, listen, if someone was
that was flying
if someone was gay, what would happen back in the day?
What do you mean, bro? Every time I walk through, I just set a lamppost.
That is true.
That's true. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I speak faster. I'm late for work sometimes.
Hey, listen, I came from Germany to year 11, and I learned that lamppost shit, bro. I'm
not gonna lie to you. Sometimes I'm late for work.
Year 11, bro.
You know, it's
This
not.
guy's an idiot.
You go through it 3 times to reverse it, innit?
That's how it works. That's how it
I thought you were
goes.
gonna
Okay.
say salt and pepper with your
Yeah,
fingers
also.
crossed.
That's avoid it, bruv.
Just avoid it.
I thought you just avoid it. Okay.
Do you still go? Do you go on them now?
Yeah, had him over.
Yeah, I don't
but-
Too grown for that, bro.
I can't lie. Sometimes,
Just to kind of like.
sometimes it comes to mind.
I
bro.
don't think anybody.
You're like, not sure.
I don't think anybody in this room is extremely homophobic.
Nah.
So I don't.
Maybe. Nah, I'm joking.
I don't know. Some people might be in it because that's a view that they've held.
That's not the episode of when we're not homophobic at Chain and Soul.
No, it's not.
Just
but that's what I'm saying. I don't
Peace
think
and love.
anybody in this room is, but we're just highlighting the point that certain struggles are pushed by a certain type of people
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
top when there's other things that are more pressing, more important. Because I don't remember a time when gay people were being gunned down in the street. I don't remember a time when gay people were being held back from jobs. I don't remember a time when gay people couldn't buy houses in certain areas. Do you know what I mean? I feel that that's the point people are making, and it's not that their agenda shouldn't be pushed, and people shouldn't be more accepting of how people want to live their lives. And even down to the thing, if you want to change your gender and say you're a woman, fine, innit? That's fine. You be a woman over there. But I feel like it's pushed in the media as a certain way, and it's for an agenda, and it's to distract us from other real things that are still going on today, and that are more pressing and more serious, that need to be dealt with within society. And it's not just the media, and it's not just education. It's as a whole. Like it's a whole spectrum needs to change in it, from the media, education, everything.
like with the gay
Everything
fight.
needs to change.
Yeah,
just like with the
That's
gay
it,
fight,
Uncle Larry.
everything
That's it.
everything needed to change in it. So yeah, from Chatty and Saltfish, we're not homophobic. We support the
Not one bit.
not one bit. We support the rainbow flag.
I want to cut it like that because
Yeah.
I want a lot of content here.
Nah, it's probably get like an hour. at
Yeah,
most.
probably true.
Yeah.
But
So,
yeah,
it
that
was
was,
Kevin
I
Hart.
was trying to do. Yeah, but I was trying to do. There's no Christmas topics.
Yeah, but we told you
Nah,
not to
Christmas
start.
one we can do after. We can do
We
after.
told
It's
you
fine.
not to start with that.
Well, I have another point.
Yeah.
All right.
See
then.
that?
That's it when we go.
Get that, yeah.
Do that shit when we go.
That's it when we go home.
Sound like Ash Ketchum, bro. Sound like Ash
What about Christmas
Ketchum.
then?
Yeah, later.
All right then. Yeah, but that was another episode of Chatting Talk. It was a takeover. It's on the Instagram. It's on Twitter. You can listen to us on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube. It's Chatting Talkfish everywhere. No other plugs.
Yeah.
Plugs, you
Check
lot
out
plug
my
it.
page
Shameless plugs.
at Master Marcus. Yeah.
Take League on.
At Master Marcus. Check out my page.
Plugs for plugs.
Eight
Check out
balls,
you.
eight
Yeah,
balls.
plugs for plugs.
Remember,
Yeah,
it's
make sure you change it. Yeah.
Poorhouse.
Oh, all day.
What plugs? Yeah. Okay. Check out my stream at UK Oldronza on Twitch. We also got Red Bull as well. And
We don't sponsor Red. We don't sponsor Red Bull.
Red
Although
Bull
sponsor us
sponsors
Red
me,
Bull.
bruv. What are you talking
Yeah, Red
about?
Bull.
Yeah, you got sponsors out here, man.
It's his plug, bro. Let him plug, bro.
Yeah,
Big news.
It's his plug, bro.
yeah, man.
Jeez, trying to get
Collaboration, bro. We can bring it through.
trying to get in his pockets, bro. Come on.
Yeah, man.
Trying to mess up his thing going.
I whispered to him like, hook me
Mad,
up.
man.
The deep voice, innit? Yeah, no, East London Fighters at Twitch TV as well, and then Red Bull Shoreditch.
Yeah, that.
Poorhouse once again.
Poorhouse what though? Go on. What's the
Type it into
That on
YouTube.
Instagram. Oh, that's YouTube.
Instagram what?
Instagram.
Always on. Social media.
Everything. Yeah, everything.
Alright, cool.
Plugs for plugs.
Instagram.
Plugs for plugs.
YouTube, SoundCloud.
The plug as well. You know it is Chatting and Saltfish. Till next time. Peace.
Peace.